Hey, my Juju Bees, welcome back to the channel. How are you guys doing today? I'm going to get my thumbnail real fast. If you are new here, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm sorry, y'all. Something's going on with the light. Maybe off. Okay, sorry. If you are new here, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. It will make me so excited. I have a bunch of new subscribers, and I am so glad that you guys have decided to come along this journey with me. I have been discussing ethics since the beginning of the ethic appearance. His first appearance was in the Prada Plan, and I think I discussed the Prada Plan a long time ago. So if you want to go back, I don't know if I finished it, but I know he's in there. But Ethic is my favorite series, so I discussed all things Ethic. I will be doing other books as well, but for right now, I just started with my favorite series, which is the Ethic series. So we are currently on book 5. If you're new here, I just go over the book. I talk with you guys because this is my favorite thing to do. Reading is my favorite pastime. And discussing is my other favorite pastime. So I think I probably live in Ethic Land. I think I live right next door, the house right next door to the one that Ethic Botolani. I live right there. I'm always in Ethic Land. I can't get out of it. So that's about me. And seafood is my favorite food, so you'll probably see that the most on here. But if you have any questions, you guys can ask me. Thank you guys again so much for subscribing. We just gonna hop right into it. So today I have Wingstop, okay? And we're going to be talking about Ethic 5. Now, we talked about Ethic 5 yesterday still. And the scene that I left off on was when, well, one of the scenes is when Messiah and Blue was at the beach. And in my reading group, an Ash Army reading group, it is their relationship is always a discussion amongst everything else. But I don't know how to feel about Blue and Messiah sometimes because I love how she's there for him. But I don't know. After they crossed that line on the beach, I'm like, now what? But they just act like it nothing happened. Like, that's what friends do. So you let me know what you think about that because I'm on the fence. But, so we're going to jump right back in. To I need to tell y'all this part of what he said about Blue. He said Blue was beautiful and he appreciated her. He loved her. It wasn't what he had with Mo. Nothing burned as hot as his love for Morgan Atkins. He wasn't in love with Blue, not in lust, not head over heels, make his heart stop at one glance, but he was learning that love came in different forms. His soft spot for Blue Montclair had always been present throughout their friendship, but never acknowledged because when you've never loved, you don't know what it's like, what it looks like. So, he loves Blue, but it's not the same as him and Morgan. And he did tell Blue, make sure, after I die, that you don't turn back. You don't go back to drugs. You stay strong and you be okay. And she said, I won't. And then she told him, he said, I love you, Blue. She said, I love you too, Messiah. And so after they had got done, he told her, thank you. I know that sounds crazy. And she probably was like, what? But I guess for her being able to sacrifice her body and give her body to him like that, I guess thank you was the only thing that made sense a little bit. But don't tell me thank you, sir. Don't tell me thank you. But yeah, so it was kind of iffy to me, but hey. So we're going to go to chapter 15 now, and we're talking about Bella and Henny. I told y'all I love their little love story. They have had a few encounters, maybe 2 or 3 encounters before this, but I love their little young puppy love. So she goes over to Nanny's house a lot, and the reason why she go over there is because Henny and her new friends over there, Lyric, and I think the other little girl's name is Jayla. So she go outside and Lyric like, come on, I'm about to go to Mott Park, I think it's called. And she like, oh, I have to go ask Nanny first. And she was like, well, how about you ask her, Lyric? Because if you ask her, she'll tell you yes. Ain't that how we used to do our parents? Like, can I spend over the night? Go ask my mama. She won't tell you no. And that's what Lyric and Bella just tried to pull. So she went in there like, hey, Nanny. And she's like, oh, hey, Lyric. Did your mama get the numbers or something in? And she's like, no, not yet. She probably have. And I don't know what the name is. She said we were just going to say maybe her brother or something. To run them over there later. But I'm about to go to the park. Is it okay if Bella go? And she like, what park? And she like, Mott Park. And then Alani disappears out of nowhere. I was like, you ain't going to no Mott Park because it's only boys over there. And Bella like, oh, hey, Alani, when did you get here? I thought you were at home. She was like, I got here late last night. Now, mind you, this is after her and Ethic broke up. So she like, okay, well, can she at least go over to my house or with me? And she was like, yeah, but that's it, no further. You come home, excuse me, you come home before those street lights come on. Yes, ma'am. This is Alani talking to Bella. And she's like, if I call your phone, you better answer. She's like, yes, ma'am. And she's like, love you, Alani. She's like, I love you too, B. So they go. They go outside to go over to Lyric's house. And when they get outside, Bella done took her little jacket out, tied it around her waist, got her little belly shirt on because she just wanted to be acting crazy. And she's like, so what we going to do? So then she go, we got to go to Jayla's house. I think it's like Bianca or something. I can't remember her name. But I know Lyric is one of them. And I think Bianca is another one. And so Bianca asked her, like, y'all going to have to tell her, like, yeah, I'm going to have to start getting y'all lives together because I'm not going to be sitting on the porch all summer long. And she like, that's not B. She's like, Boog can't go because, you know, they call Bella Bougie. So they shorten it up and call it Boog. Or just Bougie. Just Bougie. You know, Bella can't go. And she was like, well, I can go home. This neither here nor there. I ain't really pressed to go anyway. And the girl was like, I didn't say I didn't want you to go. I'm just saying I ain't trying to be sitting here all summer because you can't go because Alani's so strict. So, her mama come out the house and she like, I'm about to go to work. I don't want nobody around here in my house. She's like, what about Lyric and what about them, Mom? She like, you know, I don't have no problem with Lyric coming in here. She was like, and I don't even know who this little girl is. And she like, little girl, who is you? And Bella like, I'm Bella. And she like, oh, okay. She's like, oh, you the one who Daddy be strolling around here in that Range Rover. And Bella laughed or whatever. She was like, well, you let him know that if Alani's mean self messed it up, then he could swing it on around over here. And she was like, oh, she's not going to mess it up. He need to worry about making sure he don't mess it up. And her mama was like, oh, okay. She was like, told her daughter, like, you better be sticking up for me like that when I ain't around. So she told her, you know, take out the pork chops or whatever the case may be and have it ready when she got home. So they called their little friends, their little guy friends, and was like, you know, you can come over here, but you got to wait until my mama leave. And so they're like, okay. So then when her mom leave, they pull up. Now, I guess it might be like 2 or 3 of them. I don't know if they said how many it was. And they pull up on like, they dirt bikes and motorcycles or whatever. Guess who pulling up? Little Henny. And like I said, Henny and Bella, they're a couple years apart in age. So yeah, what's up, pretty girl? So he acts like, you getting on? So she like, you know, looking back at her friends, looking at the bike, and she's like, oh my God, I know I shouldn't do this, but My little puppy love for Henny, I'm going. So her friend's like, well, why, Bella? Like, what we supposed to tell Lonnie? And she's like, I'll be back before the street lights come on. And they're like, okay. So she get on the back of Henny's bike. She's terrified. And her man, she's thinking, like, I don't know how my sister used to ride on the back of a Messiah's motorcycle because I'm terrified. She had her eyes closed. And she kept on saying, like, please, God. Like, please, God, don't let nothing happen to me. And she wouldn't open her eyes because she kept on saying, like, she knew if she opened up her eyes that she was going to tell him to stop and let her off. So they drove for a little while, and then all of a sudden she felt the bike slow down. So then when she opened up her eyes, they was at Mott Park. And she started panicking. She's like, let me out, let me down, let me down. And he's like, hold on, B. Let me down, let me down. And before he could stop the bike good enough, she like tries to hop off. And so the bike like tips over. He almost fall over. She fall and it burns the side of her leg. And he like, what's going on? So like a car done try to sideswipe him. So he done got mad, smacked the hood of the car, you know. And he like, what's going on? Like, why would you hop off the bike like that? And she was like, I'm sorry. I freaked out, you know, something bad happened here. And he like, okay, well, I'm sorry, you know how bad, but you got to calm down. And so, for those of you who don't know, that park is where Raven got shot and killed. So, she kind of had like a flashback, so to speak. Hearing a gunshot, because she was there. They all was there. Her, Morgan, Easy was in the back seat with Raven. So they all were there. She saw it all happen. So he like, I'm sorry. He like, you know, let me help you out. Are you okay? Do you need to go home? She's like, no, I'm fine. Now, mind you, her skin is ripped off with her jeans. But she's so caught up in the moment trying to make sure she don't miss out with little Henry. She's like, I'm fine, I'm fine. So he like, well, let me show you something. So he take her down into, I'm assuming it's like a tunnel. You know how them circle tunnels be? So he take her down into one of them tunnels, and it's a tent down there. And she like, what's this? And he like, this is where I stay. She's like, do you live down here? And he like, yeah. It's just something temporary until I can find somebody to get me a house or get me an apartment and put it in their name. You know, his mama put him out or whatever the case may be. And she's like, oh my gosh, she's like, well, I got money. Like, you know, if you want to go to the ATM, he like, nah, pretty girl. Like, don't worry about getting no money for me. Like, I'll be okay. One day I'm going to be able to take care of you. And so I got to make sure I get it right. Y'all know how I feel. So it's Lyric and Bianca. I was right. So that's when he asked her to tell me what hurt. She said, it's just my leg. He said, he was trying to ask her what happened, why she is freaking out. She wouldn't tell him. He said, I'm going to show you something so you can show me something. She said, I hope you ain't getting fly because, little boy, it ain't none of that going down over here. He was like, nah, little Bella. Like, you a good girl. I ain't talking about that. You a baby out here. You ain't ready anyway. Like I told y'all, Bella and Henny, they have an age difference. They're like 2 or 3 years older than each other. But like I said, y'all know Henny run the streets. So he really like 6 or 7 years older than Bella mentally in my eyes. So when he told her that, she like, glad you know. And so they go downstairs, like I said, bypassing, and they go to this little thing. And then she said, Hendrix, do you live here? He said, coming through the hood to slum it don't seem so fun now, do it, pretty girl. And so she asked him what happened. How did he get down there? He said his mama is around, but she ain't nothing though. You know, his mama ain't, she do drugs. Like she just one of them one type. Kick him out because she got a boyfriend and the boyfriend don't want him there type of deal, you know. But that's a later story, but I just had to tell you that because I don't like Henny mama. I'm sorry, I just didn't like her in that situation. So he said he sleep there. He got work and stuff to pay out. to the big homie. He said, who was the big homie? He said, you could tell you live in the suburbs. And he said, it's all good. I trust you. And he said, you don't know him, but I move weight for the Mural Gang. And that's really one of the people who used to work for Messiah. And so he said, once I pay them back what I lost, I'm going to come up and I'm going to get out of here. Give me a one little bedroom, like have one of the little, one of the little things around the block, put it in their name for him, and then I'm going to be good. So she was looking around. He had some books and stuff around. And so she asked him, like, do you read? He said, yeah, when I ain't hustling. It's not a big deal. She said, the business of profit and loss. She said, this is like homework. He said, fiction can't. She said, why not read like literature or fiction? He was like, because fiction can't show you how to flip the money fast enough. And then she said, okay, well, teach me something. He said, man, you trying to climb? She said, no. And so basically they were talking about what type of future plans they was trying to have for each other. Henny don't see for past, a certain amount of time, whereas Bella, she got a whole future plan planned out. She want to go to college, she want to travel the world, she want to spend a year in France, she want to teach, she wants to explore life. She has a whole plan. Her 13, 14-year-old mind, she has a whole plan of what she want to do. She want to go to college, she want to get out of Flint, she wants to be successful, and she wants Henny, now that she's fallen in love with him, she wants him to meet her there. Like, she wants him to be able to invest in himself enough so that when she get ready to go, he can go too. So, she was telling him about her college thing. He was like, college ain't for everybody. She said, well, that's on the other side of the door for me. College and family, pledging a fraternity, because I'm for sure pledging a sorority, backpacking across Europe, maybe Asia one day. These are all Bella's plans. And now she done got Hendrik all hype. Like, how you been thinking like, dang, ain't nobody even thought enough of me to even think that I could do something like that, or I could be something other than this nappy-head little boy running the streets trying to make the change, trying to make $1 out of 15 cents, basically. He said, you living in outer space, ain't none of that for me. I'm just trying to live to see 18. That'll be a win for me. See, like his mind ain't as far as Bella. So she didn't know what to say because, like I said, Bella is, her mind and her growing up and her experience is different. They two different ends of the spectrum. She in the suburbs living her life. He in the hood trying to make it. He trying to figure out how to survive. And Bella just know that she's going to make it. She don't have any thoughts or any doubts about being successful or any doubts about going to college, or that's not a second thought to her. Like she said, she want to backpack across Europe, maybe even Asia, because that is what her life entails for her. Whereas Henny, he like, I'm just trying to make it to 18. But Bella gives Henny a different sense of hope. She has him, she believes in him, and she supports him. And so she gives him a different outlook on things that he probably wouldn't have never thought about if he hadn't run across Lil Bella. So he asked her, like, are you ready to get back? And she said, yeah. He said, don't tell nobody about this. She said, I won't. And she said, are you sure you're okay? I hear that's what she told me. Like, I got some money. He like, nah, I'm pretty good. I'm going to take care of you one day. You ain't never going to have to take care of me. I'm going to be straight. He said, you can let me call you, though. And then she was like, well, my dad, he checks my phone. So you can, I think she gave him like her Instagram information. He said, pretty girl got rules. You got to follow those rules. She put out her hand to grab him, and she kind of freaked out. He said, I showed you something. I never show anybody how I'm living. So can you tell me, like, what's got you so riled up or so stirred up? And she said, I just saw somebody die here when I was a little girl. It freaks me out being back here. And he said, okay, we won't come back here no more. She said, well, we have to, because if I don't come here, this is where you are. So, Bella, she's smitten with Lil Henny now. Okay, she's willing to go ahead and truck through these waters to go see Lil Henny because this is where you are. Like, I got to come back here because this is where you at. So, he took her back to Bianca crib, and that's not the beginning, but that's when the bond really glues for them. So he took the long way back because, of course, he didn't want to, get away from Bella. I think, for real, in all honesty, Bella is to Hendrix what Morgan was to Messiah. Like, allowing him to see past what he is. Maybe Hendrix is not as rough around the edges as Messiah is. His head is a little bit more skilled and trained. But when it comes to, like, what they see in themselves and what they think they're capable of, Bella does that for Hendrix the same way that Morgan did that for Messiah. So he asked her, like, when I'm going to see you again. She said, I don't know. When you can get away, call me. She said, I'll DM you my number. So everybody like, where was you at, girl? I would have lyric called her to be where like, yeah, where you was at? She was like, first of all, don't call me. That's okay. B set standards. Tell them how to treat you and talk to you. And she was like, that's just how I talk. My bad, bougie dang. She said, stop stalling and tell me what happened. And she was like, nothing. We just talked. So when she got into the house, Alani was like, what happened to your leg? She was like, I was on one of those little dirt bike things that Bianca has, and I burned my knee. She like, a dirt bike? She like, Bianca, mom broke. She ain't got no money to be buying no dirt bike. Now, what you done did to your knee? She was like, are you sure she got a dirt bike? She like, yeah, I fell off of it. So Ethic came in there to pick her up. And she was like, it looks kind of bad, Ethic. She was like, she said she was on one of them dirt bikes, but I don't know if Bianca mama that had no money to be buying no dirt bike. And so, of course, that was where Bella first started, to tell her little lies so she could be able to, hang out with Hendrix. Now, her leg is completely hurting. It's throbbing like all get out. But she don't want to make like a big deal because she was gone for about an hour or two before she even came in to show them what was going on with her leg. So, obviously, they thinking like it can't be that big of a deal because, girl, you was out for 2 hours or whatever with your leg being hurt. But, of course, she was because she didn't want to stop her time with little Henny. So he asked her, should I take her to the hospital? She like, no, I don't need to go. And so Alani was like, maybe you should stay from around here for a little while. Well, she didn't say that to him. She said it to Ethel. Like, I think maybe Bella should stay away from here for a little while. I know that little girl, she ain't being, something in the milk ain't clean, basically. And then he said, so do you want to tell her that? Like, or do you want me to tell her that? Because, she going to be wherever you are. Because Bella done drew her allegiance in the sand. Wherever Alani is going, that's where Bella going. So if she ain't coming home, I ain't either. Sorry. And that's Bella means that. And remember I was talking about those love stories on that page? This is another one. Bella and Alani have such a bond with each other because they both feel a void for one another. Bella gives motherhood to Alani, and Alani gives a mother to Bella. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's a bond that, it was like they was destined to be together. Yeah, we know that, we hope that Alani and Etha gonna be destined to be together, but that Bella and that Alani, that thing was magical. So, she said, maybe Bella should stay away from here for a little while. I know her and she's leaving something out of the story. Plus this, like seeing you, I can't do this. And like he said, you want to tell her that because she going to be wherever you are. And he said, you the love of our lives. She's going to come to you, Lanika. I can ban her. I can say no. And she coming anyway. So if you really don't want her here, if she's not welcome here, she's like, of course she's welcome here. I think it's you. It's you, Ezra, that I don't want to see. And then he said, what I got to do to make this right? Just tell me and I'll do it. And I told you what you had to do and you didn't do it. Like I told you to get rid of the girl Alani. Instead, Green Eyes, Yaya. And instead you send $1,000 across the world to another girl. So I don't try to accommodate me now. Like you moved how you wanted to move then. So don't try to flip the script now. I don't agree with Alani in this sense of the thing because his relationship that he had with Yaya was well before her. And even when you told him to cut Yaya off, you wasn't his woman then either. So now that you telling him to cut her off, I can respect that. Like I can respect you saying like, you need to go ahead and cut her off because what we got, we trying to build and she can't be a part of the building process. But you just came back around. Like you guys are just now redefining your relationship. And when you initially told him to cut Yaya off, y'all were nothing. You were still going to your house. He was still miserable at his. There was no working on y'all relationship. It was over for real at that point. Yeah, he wanted to be with you more than he wanted to breathe and vice versa. But you causing this big old uproar about her to me at this stage is null and void. And he even apologized and said, like, I didn't do it out of disrespect. It's something that I've been doing. I didn't think to go up with those measures and stop that. But now that you have brought it up, he's willing to make those adjustments. You got to meet him where he is, girl. You done shot that man, sent him through all of this. And like, Alana, you got to calm down a little bit. You got to calm down. That's my girl. I love her 100 grand, but you got to calm down, Alana. You got to calm down. So, she said, you put me out at the... He said, I never said that. I never said that. You walked out of my house in the middle of the night because we had a disagreement. And she like, lies, because you told me that maybe we could pick this back up after Morgan had her baby. So I didn't walk out. And she said, you want to press pause on me while you continue to send $5,000 checks to the next girl. What was I supposed to do? Go back in your bed after that? He said, stop bringing that up like it matters. He said $5,000 to me is like $50,000. I mean, like $5,000 to me is like $50 that I give to the bum off the street. He said it's petty and ain't even close to what I give you. He said you get $100,000 coming to you every month. What you stressing over $5,000 for? Now she get $100,000 coming to her every month, okay? And she said, what? What you talking about? I never asked you for anything. He said, and you'll never have to, you or anybody else that I ever cared about. Like, since the day Love died, you've gotten 20% of all the residuals from my business. And my investments every month, I split it 4 ways. Now I split 5. It's piling up in the account with your name. And she said, well, you can keep it because I don't want it. So now she hysterical because you know how she is. So she said, he said, this fight with you is on me, Lanika. It's weighing me down. He said, I got a whole house, but no shoe. He said, it's a daddy there with 3 kids, but no mama. We want our mama home, baby. You know, come on home. And she said, well, you better call that girl who used your last name, Desire Okafor. Do you know what that does to me? What am I supposed to do with you? I can't trust you. No way do you love me like I love you, because all I see is you. The things I sacrifice daily to love you. Like I said, I felt like Alani was running with this one. Now, granted, I know how she feels, the sacrifice that she makes daily to love him, because he is the person who dismissed her child. But at the same time, it's kind of like if you're in a relationship with somebody and they cheat and you decide to take them back, you have to learn how to control your emotions to a certain extent. If you're choosing to be with him and build with him every day, then you cannot continue to relive the hurtful part of him every single day, or you're never going to be able to go on in that relationship. Like, you just may as well walk away if you're going to relive the hurt every single day. So, she said, I asked you to end whatever it was with her. You didn't, that's fine. But you can have both. This between us is over. It's time that we both come to terms with that, and I'm done with you. And he said, that'll never be the case. And then she said, you said that we was forcing it. We was making it something more than what it was. So stop. Leave me alone. Let me go. Let me find someone who loves me and only me. Someone who doesn't send money to other women behind my back. Let someone else have me. And he was like, no. That's simple and plain. No, ma'am. I'm sorry. Nobody's going to be able to have you. So you just might as well go ahead and let it go, unless you want to be in the dirt with any other man that you bring here, because that's what's going to happen. So, and she said, why? Why won't you let me go? He said, because I said so. Come on, Ethic, because he said so. You heard what he said. He said what he said. Don't ask him more questions. And then he said, play with a Negro's life out here if you want to. And she said, Bella's waiting on you. Don't come back here, Ethic. Don't call. Don't come back. If the kids want to visit, they can call me. They know my number, and I'll send Mr. Larry for them. And as he's leaving, in her mind, she's saying, I'm going to die without him. So Alani she puts up a nice little fight with Ethic when she wants to. But I'm going to stop right there because I don't want to get... But I think that, like I said, I think that Alani... I think maybe her emotions will always be all over the place if she decides to stay with Ethic, because he did take her child away from her, but she loves him so deeply that I don't know how she's going to be able to, like, leave him alone, really. She's trying. She's doing a good fight. I just don't know if she's going to be able to really do it. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all tomorrow. Don't forget, if you're new here, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I would be so happy if you did. I am very close to 200 subscribers. My Ash Army, I love each and every one of you. I love all y'all so much. Y'all don't understand how much I do. But my Ash Army has got my numbers up, and I'm hoping that they continue to grow. So I think I'm about 30 or so subscribers away from 200. When I get to 200 subscribers, I'm going to do another giveaway. Every 100 subscribers that I gain, I'm going to do a giveaway. So please, please share this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will be back tomorrow, maybe at the same place, but maybe not the same time. I love you guys so much. And until next time, excuse me. Bye-bye, Jujubee.